We are in Georgeville, Iowa, where a young boy named Julian is playing with his action figures, Iron Man and Captain Marvel. Suddenly, the door swings open. Julian's father, Todd, rushes in, looking panicked. Without a word, he picks up his son and urgently tells the rest of the family to get out of the house immediately. Todd's wife, Michelle, confused by the sudden urgency, protests, "Todd, let him take his toys." But Todd cuts her off, trying to calm both her and their son. "Sure, but we have to go, okay, pal? We have to go right now." Holding Julian tightly, Todd moves towards the door. As they step outside, he quickly explains, "The evacuation point's out at the elementary school." Michelle, still struggling to grasp the situation, hesitates. "Wait, we can't just leave like this." Todd turns to her, his voice firm and filled with fear. "Green alert means drop everything and run, honey. We took too long as it is." Just as Michelle is about to insist on locking the doors, a deafening crash shakes the ground. Ghost Rider's Hell Charger slams into their parked truck at full speed. The impact is violent. Todd and his family freeze in shock, their eyes drawn to the wreckage, and then they see it. Inside the Hell Charger, a burning skeleton grips the wheel. Todd's breath catches in his throat as he stammers, That was a car, that as a skeleton was in a car. Michelle, Henry, run!" Without another word, they take off down the evacuation route. Meanwhile, every news channel in the city starts broadcasting breaking news. A Level 3 superhuman conflict has erupted, and all reports point to one cause: Hulk. At the city's edge, Hulk is in a brutal fight with the Avengers. With a single devastating punch, he knocks out several of Thor's teeth. Thor stumbles back, his grip loosening. Mjolnir slips from his fingers and crashes to the ground. He barely manages to whisper, "By Odin." Hulk, standing over him, chuckles darkly. "Daddy can't help you now." He readies another strike, but before he can land it, Captain America jumps in, shielding Thor. "Stay behind me." Hulk swings at Captain America's shield, his blows echoing like thunder. As he keeps punching, he sees something, a vision of Brian Banner's face on the shield. Mocking, Hulk sneers, "Look, it's Captain Hydra. When I rip off your head, will two more take its place?" Captain America exhales sharply. "That wasn't me." From behind, Black Panther calls out, "Captain, see to Thor." He leaps onto Hulk's back. "I can take it from here." Hulk growls in frustration. "Hey, get off me, you little..." Before he can finish, Black Panther unleashes a kinetic blast against Hulk's skull, hoping to snap him out of his rage. Nearby, Iron Man stands ready in his newest Hulkbuster suit. He watches the battle and mutters, "If that doesn't work, we'll have to use code Helios, a weapon positioned 10,000 feet above." Black Panther quickly counters, "Only if necessary, my friend. Some weapons should be a last resort, and code Helios is one of them." Meanwhile, Captain America checks on Thor, shaken by how hard he was hit. "You okay? I've never seen you take a hit like that before." Thor, struggling to stand, groans. He's 15 times stronger than he was, vastly so. His voice wavers as he continues. He sees the naked souls of men, smells the lies in our hearts, hidden even from ourselves. Captain America frowns. He assumes Thor is concussed. After all, lies don't have a scent. Thor grips his arm, forcing himself upright. "Are you sure? You live in a world of science and law, Steve Rogers, but I dwell in a realm of legend and gods." Captain America hesitates. "Thor, are you suggesting..." Thor interrupts, his voice grim. "I'm suggesting, Captain, that in its rage, its pain, and the shadow of Armageddon, your world may have birthed something close to a god, or a devil maybe." Hearing this, Hulk smirks, a twisted, knowing grin. Devil Hulk. I like the sound of that. Then, with full force, Hulk claps his hands together. The shockwave that follows is massive, shattering the Hulkbuster armor, leaving it barely functioning. Inside, Stark is struggling. "Warning, system failure. Eject sequence engaged." But before he can escape, Hulk grips the suit's arms and tears them clean off. With a furious snarl, he roars, "Evade this!" Stark fights for control. Eject, motherboard. I said eject, eject. Damn it. Hulk, still grinning, taunts him. Perhaps this will bring you to your senses. Before Hulk can finish Stark off, Black Panther intervenes. Let him go, Hulk. If he stays in that suit any longer, he'll die. He's your friend. Hulk's expression twists in fury. My friend? Without hesitation, he picks up a broken piece of the Hulkbuster's arm and swings it straight at Black Panther. Stark finally ejects from his armor, just moments before it explodes. He flies straight up toward the station positioned 10,000 feet above, where the code, Helios weapon, is stored. Upon reaching it, he informs all the Avengers via radio. I'm preparing code, Helios for attack. Captain Marvel, who is on the ground evacuating civilians onto Alpha Flight, immediately responds, no, this is a civilian area. But Tony cuts her off, insisting, we'll get them out first and then attack. Captain Marvel continues guiding civilians to safety, but warns Iron Man over the radio, it's more than the people, Tony. There are homes here, businesses. Captain America, agreeing with her, speaks up. I'm with Carol, Tony. Let's hold code. Helios until we have no other choice. No movement here. The Hulk may have been taken out in the blast. Thor, barely standing, his body battered from the fight, insists, I can still fight the Hulk, once my vision clears. But Captain America stops him, saying, we'll do that when it's time. Right now we have to pull back. Meanwhile, Captain sends She-Hulk to fight the Hulk. She-Hulk roars and leaps at Hulk, landing a powerful punch while growling, Hulk, smash! She crashes Hulk into the ground and yells, Bruce hurt Jan, hurt his friends, hurt us all, so now. Hulk quickly recovers, blocking her next punches, and taunts her. I was everything Banner tried to hide. You were everything Walters wanted to be. Now that line between us is harder to see, right? What do you think? With a devilish smile, Hulk calls her Hulk, trying to confuse her. She-Hulk hesitates and mutters, no, Hulk is not. I'm not like you. Before she can say more, Hulk delivers a devastating punch, sending She-Hulk flying 2 miles away. Meanwhile, from above, Tony Stark signals through the radio saying, this battle only ends when Hulk kills someone. He asks Captain Marvel, are all civilians out of Helios's range? She confirms, only Hulk remains in range, no one else. Yet she still urges Tony not to launch Helios. But Stark cuts her off. This is our last option. And with that, he fires. A massive beam of UV light bursts from the station, engulfing Georgeville in an explosion. Inside the Alpha Flight transport, the evacuated civilians stare in shock. Their hometown has just been obliterated. Some begin to question what happened, while others silently pray. Back on the ground, Captain America, Black Panther, and Tony Stark's hologram stand over Bruce Banner's charred corpse. 5 drones hover around the body, emitting continuous UV light. Captain America, with sadness in his voice, mutters, it's not right, T'Challa. Not right at all. I only hope it didn't hurt too much. Tony Stark interrupts, oh, it most certainly did. The Helios laser had UV radiation. Basically, it was a beam of intense sunlight. He continues, it was the one thing we had on hand that could hurt this new Devil Hulk persona. But this time, Captain America cuts him off, raising his voice. Don't call him that. This wasn't the devil, Tony. Looking at Bruce's lifeless body, Captain America gets emotional. This was a friend in need, and we killed him. Black Panther, steady and composed, tells him, this is just a temporary solution, Captain. Bruce Banner may be gone, but without these UV drones, sun lamps as I call them, I fear the Hulk will soon return. Then, Black Panther poses an unsettling question. Back from death, rested, refreshed. Would we survive that, Captain? Meanwhile, Ghost Rider has fully healed, but Thor's skull remains fractured. Ghost Rider helps treat him. Later, She-Hulk is found sitting silently in a corner, replaying Hulk's words in her mind. Tony and T'Challa remind Captain America that he tried to kill us too. As he prepares to leave, Black Panther tells Captain, without the Helios weapon, without this sacrifice, we'd be burying our own dead tonight, Captain. My conscience remains clear. Captain, speaking softly, responds, "Good for you, Your Highness. We've got another problem anyway. We beat him. We've got him." Sometime later, Banner wakes up at Shadow Base. He is suspended upside down, with Dr. Clive standing before him. Clive explains that the Avengers handed Banner over to Secretary Ross, who then transferred him to U.S. Hulk operations. Dr. Clive looks at Bruce and says, "Welcome to Shadow Base, Banner. Think of what's coming as a bit of poetic vengeance. You've caused pain to many over the years. Now it's our turn." Bruce's vision starts turning green. Small bubbles form around his eyes. Clive quickly steps out of the room as Hulk's muffled screams echo. His severed, screaming head is placed inside a glass container, sitting on a shelf alongside other pieces of his dissected body.